Welcome to another Handyman Leatherman video. Welcome all to another episode. If you are new here, welcome. Thanks for joining. Today we're going to be talking about drywall. And if you're an old subscriber, it's drywall time again. This time we're going to be tackling another dilemma that some people may face. What do you do if your ceiling starts to get wavy and loose, but you can't screw it up because it's an old house and the ceiling, the sheetrock is brittle, and you don't want to bust the sheetrock and have all the insulation come down? That's what we're going to be dealing with today. I've got an old customer I worked for 2 or 3 times, and he had somebody come in and blow extra insulation, which is great. But the house is old, brittle 3/8 sheetrock, and half his living room fell in a couple years ago. We fixed it. Then a bedroom did. We fixed it. And it just comes everywhere. I mean, insulation, if you ever had insulation fall, it is horrible. So then he had his kitchen getting loose and then his other bedroom. So we came in and we're fixing the problem before it gets worse. So let's go check it out and see how we're going to fix this problem. This is a repair that we did for him a few months ago. As you could tell, we got it done there, so this is why we're doing what we're doing. So as you can see, we got the kitchen all masked off. And if you look up at the ceiling, you see all those 1x4s. I measured them, and they're 16 inches apart, which makes it easier to overlay it with sheetrock. And you can see the little black-headed screws. That's where I went around and pushed up on the ceiling and located where all the studs were. And you can see how when I pushed it up, cinched it up with the 1x4, they kind of popped down a little bit. If you come over here, you can see how those are kind of dropped out a little bit because the ceiling went up. So we removed the trim. We'll put it back up after. And this here was one of the culprits. This air conditioner vent was added later on, and it's just sitting on top of the sheetrock, which didn't help the situation. But I added some boards in there to strengthen it up and reinforce it. So we will overlay this whole ceiling with sheetrock, so that way it will hide everything and fix the problem. So we're going to remove this light because I'll be having to put sheetrock over this, and we'll just cut a hole and remount it. We'll cut a hole and remount the vent too. So let's take you into the bedroom where I've already sheetrocked it yesterday. So here, you can't even tell. The only place you could tell is if you walk over to the air conditioner vent, you could tell that it's just hanging down about 3/4 of an inch. We're going to be shimming that and putting some foil tape around that. You can see right here the wires hanging through. We're going to be remounting the light. So most people would never know this ceiling drops down. And we'll put the trim back up. So we got to put another coat of mud on it and get it textured. The ceiling looks 10 times better than it did before. It was just like the kitchen. One thing about these small areas, it sure is tricky getting your sheetrock in here. But we got it. It took a little bit of finagling. Just like that. Starting to clean the ceiling up now. Plus that little air gap between the sheetrock and the ceiling will also act as a insulation barrier. It's coming along. Bam! Just like that. All the sheetrock is up. I got a first coat of mud on it. Had to use a little piece of green water resistant sheetrock I had in the truck to finish up, but we got it done. I've already found the light, got the wire sticking through. We got to mount that. already cut out the vent. So we're gonna foil tape the edges of that and put the vent in before we texture. And I still have to put the trim up. As you can tell, there's gaps in the side. We're gonna put the trim up and get it ready, then second coat it and get it ready for acoustic. All right, we got foil tape on the air conditioner vent. So it's ready to put the vent back in. That will keep the air coming straight down and it covers the gap. Trim is up. Everything is masked off. Everything is mudded out. We mounted the light, masked it off, mounted the vent. It's ready for acoustic. When we get done, you won't even know anything ever happened in here. This is the bedroom. Just the same way. We've got everything mudded out. The vent is up, masked off, and the light's on too. And just like that. All done. Acoustic sprayed. You can't even tell the ceiling drops down about 1.25 inches. So it's a simple upgrade to do to reassure that you're going to sleep right without worried about the ceiling falling down on top of you. And here's the kitchen, finished product. You can't even tell that the ceiling is hanging lower an 1.25 inches. So when you have a room that is not connected to another room with a doorway, you could drop it down and nobody would ever know. At least you have the security of knowing you have a solid ceiling and you don't have to deal with all that insulation. We got it all done. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. It's so nice to be able to make an older, beautiful house look good again. Houses today just are built a lot differently than the old houses, so that's an easy fix to prevent you from having to rip down your ceiling and deal with all that insulation. So there we have it. The customers love with it. He don't have to deal with that insulation falling down again, and we enjoyed doing it too. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know we enjoyed doing all the work and seeing the house just become beautiful again. So until we see each other again, you guys have fun with your projects and stay out of trouble. Oh man, I'm tired. All that lifted sheetrock over my head. Oh, I'm gonna go take me a hot shower.